Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live. Pull this down a little bit. Watch my audio there. Listen to my audio, Emily. I'm pulling it down a little bit so I'm not overpowering. But if you see it's too low, or if a viewer out there, just text me. Here we go. We have everything on the screen. I didn't look over the screen, so there you go. Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. I am your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. And we have all the ways you can follow us on social media. We have the phone number you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can text this phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is the hotline. You can get in touch with us. You can email me. Before I start, I want to thank you out there. You know who you are. You know who you are. Anyhow, I want to thank you for your kind letter yesterday and how much you enjoy our interviews here on the show when we have guests and candidates and so forth. So thank you for your letter yesterday. I really enjoyed that. I appreciate it. Yes, just a little side note. We've called in the Marines. Okay, so there you go. We've called in the Marines. There is Trump on the tank flag. This is my American flag, Jason Newman. He is a deputy sheriff in Gomer County, an outstanding man. He is the picture of why we support the blue. This young man is. So here's my flag from Jason Newman. Yes, that is the 20. I got it out yesterday, and I said it's August 2020. That is my Ronald Reagan library annual calendar there. There's Ronnie and Nancy Reagan, August 2020. And you are correct. That says Ross Perot for president. Remember Ross? Now, you can't see this, but this actually has the staple marks all the way down through the center where this was on a stick, stapled on a stick in the ground. My mother gave me the vote for Ross Perot, so we put it on the wall. So just a couple things we have going on here. The Trump flag. Now, if you want to put something on the wall, and once we fill it up here in the office, if it's not in the view daily, we'll take a picture and show everybody. So you send me a message if you would like something on the studio wall back here behind me. Just let me know. You got something? Oh, one more thing. I'm going to get started. Yes, I know Michelle Obama was at the DNC. What the hell? Leave me alone this morning. This is my Mondale, Walter Mondale, and Ferrara. Now, I'm calling in the ghost of Mondale for a reason. Was Mondale from Minnesota? Minnesota? Interesting. So we got a lot to cover. You know, yesterday I had a choice, okay? I had a choice to, hold on, something's unplugged here. Yesterday I had a choice to watch a documentary on why people won't throw away old shoes. Why they won't toss the old shoes. It's a documentary. And then there was the DNC National Convention. And I thought the documentary would be interesting. You know, why don't you throw your old shoes away? But then there was the DNC Convention. Guess what? I watched the DNC Convention and I still got to see. I kill myself. I still got to watch old shoes that they can't throw away. Oh my God, I cracked myself up this morning. Yes. Why won't they throw away old shoes? Oh, the DNC convention. That's what it was, a documentary on why they won't throw away old shoes. You know, Bernie Sanders, give me this picture. We're going to go into a lot this morning. Let me see. Just get me one with Bernie Sanders. Here, give me number 31. You know, I watched every bit of it. I cringed. I know I was on social media, and many of you out there were on social media. I won't watch 1 minute, but I take it on. I take it on so you don't have to. And I watched. This was a disaster. A disaster. Did you know it was Shark Week? It's not just Shark Week. It's MF Shark Week. They had a hot mic on Christine, what is it, Dimwitmer up there in Michigan. We'll play that in a minute. So Sanders unleashes scathing attack. Did I 31? Yeah, I did call for it. Thank you. Sanders unleashes scathing attack on Trump during DNC speech. Sanders is like an old Jew. No, he's not like an old Jew. He is an old Jew. No, that's not a sign of disrespect. He's old. He's Jewish. He's an old Jew. So Sanders is like an old Jew that came out and was yelling at kids for riding their bikes across his front yard. I'm serious. Hey, your kids, get off my lawn. I swear to God, I watched it. I can't do much more with last night than make fun of it. But I want to say this, and there's a couple things we're going to get into. Will President Trump, will he pardon Edward Snowden today? Will he? We're just asking. I wonder how Trump, number 32. This is my favorite. I love this, okay? This is one of my favorites. Trump. I wonder how Trump's doing with suburban housewives. Oh, they are burning him alive. They are skewing the old boy for saying housewives. Housewives. Where do you think I go around with, what was June Cleaver with pearls? I wear pearls in an apron all day. Do you think I'm looking for the beef? I'm a housewife looking for the beef. Anyhow, so a lot took place last night, but let me say this, okay? As Michelle Obama was unleashing on the president, they are, I have to tell you this, they are in panic, and I will explain today why. They are in total panic mode. I want to ask you a question, okay? Give me number 12. Do you think the American people, and I'm very serious about this, do you think the American people will vote for a candidate that does not personally campaign? Now, the DNC, it was crickets. They were supposed to be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin last night at their convention, all right? Now, I know you don't like it out there. I'm just an old, political junkie. I like a good convention, no matter who it is. I like the DNC. Wait. I like the DNC convention of the old days, and I like the Republican convention. Obviously, the Republican a little more. But I do like the DNC because then you have the talking heads that think they know so much, and they bring in a delegate. Hey, we got the delegate. We got the chair. See, here's when you go to the real convention, they call that boring. Joe Scarborough said that was boring. In fact, let's go for a Scarborough pick. This piece of, let's be nice today, BKP. All right, give me number 58. Night one of the Democrat National Convention kicks off. Speeches given by Michelle O, Senator Sanders, GOP Trump rivals. Old shoe leather. We'll get into Meg, Christine Todd Whitmer, former governor of New Jersey. Old shoe leather they brought out last night. So anyhow, this on the screen, all right? You see, it's in the conventions where you got the old headphone sets, and you got the different anchor booths, and look who just wandered in, Illinois Speaker of the House so and so. Look who just wandered in, Governor of Utah. Look who. See, they're all at the convention, right? And I enjoy because that's where you start finding out who's in the party. You hear things that are unscripted, that really are unscripted. They talk to delegates. I'm on the floor. Let's go down on the floor. The little Ducey kid's down there somewhere. Find the Ducey kid, the kid with the big hair. So what are you finding down here? I'm down here with a delegate from, where are you from? You're from Alabama? They walk the floor. So anyhow, just not to bore you with that, but this convention, okay, is an absolute disaster. It's a joke. Will the American people vote for a candidate that will not campaign? Now, Donald J. Trump goes right into Wisconsin. He lands. He gets off the plane. He goes right into Minnesota. He lands, gets off the plane. Right? Now, the one thing you can't take away, and the reason you like to do this kind of campaigning, okay, Dim Whitmer up in Michigan admits that Michigan will be a battle. She admits that. She don't like to talk about it. All right? But let me say this. He gets off the plane, and they want the local coverage. Okay? Now, why do you think Governor Kemp will do in Georgia his bus tour, right? Out and about around Atlanta? Because they want Fetch Your News to show up with a reporter. Okay, Governor Brian Kemp visited LJ today and, you know, told the people in LJ that we've never been stronger, we've never been better, and everything's going great, and they cheered, right? They want the local coverage. Local coverage, believe it or not, is very important. Okay? Wisconsin remembers Hillary never went to the state. Is that true? Wisconsin or Michigan? I know it was one of them. Never stepped foot in the state. Just took it for granted. So they want the local coverage of the local networks that come out. They do. Hey, this is Milwaukee, Fox 5 in Milwaukee, President Trump visit. No matter what, the people know you're there on the ground. So if Trump can personally campaign, will America let Joe not campaign and campaign out of a basement virtual? All right. I said this yesterday at the end of the show, and this is very big because the risk they're taking with Biden is hurting the entire party. They're in panic. Okay. Right here in the 9th District of Georgia, where I broadcast from every morning, Democrats will not do an event. I get their emails. I'm on all their lists. Meet us today for come online for a Zoom meet and greet the candidate. People don't want to do that. They really don't want to do that. And it's the Democrats are not campaigning because if they do, they make Joe look bad. So let me move on from that. And I'm going to give you the president topped out in Minnesota yesterday. Why will they not talk about Minnesota? We will go over that. But before we get really started this morning, yes, I know these people were here. Okay. I want to say this. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Frank. Okay. Now, Frank has gone on. He's in another dimension in time. Is that what it is? I don't know. Frank's no longer with us. Good friend. I long for the days that we would just have the big battle on the phone, on politics, and we weren't fighting. It was a battle. This guy, the first guy, not a TV nobody, the very first person that ever said to me, you know what it is? And this is early on in Trump's administration. He said, Trump is playing chess and the rest of them are playing checkers. So this is very important this morning. My friend Frank comes to mind. He called me one day, and I'm going to say this is about 4 weeks before he died, okay? He called me one day about 4 weeks before he died, and somebody had just died, a public figure, and they went up there, and you would have thought this guy was the greatest guy in the world. I mean, this person was the greatest person, and, everything was good about the person, good daddy, good best friend, baseball coach, saved the world, cured a disease, whatever, And he calls me up and he says, you know, just once, I want to hear somebody stand up at a funeral and say the guy was a no good SOB. Just once. I'd love to hear one time at a funeral, the guy was a piece of garbage. He owed me money. He was a crook. He was no good. He would steal you blind. I just want to hear. He said, you know, they get up here and they start. So I said, Frank, so if when you die, if I get up and say you're a no good SOB, you're okay with that? Sure. I don't care what you say. But it was great because he said, you know, and I was thinking about it last night. He said, you know, get up there somebody one time at a funeral and say, this guy was no good. He was a piece of garbage. He stole my wife. Number three. That's what Bill Stevenson would say. This guy's no good. He stole my wife. This guy was married to Joe Biden. Joe Biden and Bill were working on Joe Biden's first campaign for U.S. Senate. Now you remember, I think it's only 2 weeks before, or 2 weeks after the election, but it was before he was sworn in. Joe Biden, his wife was killed tragically with his daughter in a car wreck. Was it just a couple of weeks before he was sworn in? But at the time, Joe Biden is working with Jill Biden and Bill Stevenson on his campaign. Joe was he was sniffing Jill's hair inappropriately. So anyhow, I just always wanted to say that because I thought to myself, my friend Frank last night would say, because if you watched it last night, I thought Joe Biden may have died in the middle of the day and I missed it. And they were all giving eulogies because they were all just, Joe is glowing. He is a man of faith. How many times did you hear last night, if you tuned in, Joe's a man of faith? Joe just picked a vice presidential candidate, a running mate, whose family owned slaves. Yeah. In the Wayback Machine, there were slave owners, Camilla's family, yes. Joe just picked to run with him side by side a woman that is very interested in productive rights for women, meaning she is okay with infanticide, meaning the baby's born and the doctor does not have to commit to save the baby's life. Kill the baby after it's born. That's the man of faith. So last night they were giving these eulogies and Joe is the right guy and Joe is this and Joe is that. And then they were so nasty and mean. I mean, just nasty and mean. And I thought, my God, did Joe die and I missed it? Because they did not mention his career. Now, I expected that. I totally and completely expected them to not mention Joe's career. I expected that. I knew that would happen. Let me tell you something. My dad died 3 months ago now, okay? And my mom is in her late 70s. And, you know, I by no means say anything about our seniors. I care and love our seniors. I really do. So I'm saying this just as a observation. Joe Biden is 77 years old. He's very feeble. Yes, he is very feeble. He is. You can see that in him. I'm your host, BKP. Now listen, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to introduce you to the candidate that the Democrats do not want you to meet. All right. And this candidate validates everything I'm telling you about the black vote, inner cities, okay? They don't want you to meet this candidate. They want to keep this candidate off the radar because she speaks for every Democrat run inner city in the United States. And she's running as a Republican. And then I want to talk about the polling and why they won't talk about Minnesota. I am going to show you the Democrats are in panic, major panic. And yes, I do understand that the Democrats feel our democracy is in stake because our voting poll is supposed to be a post box. They've gone postal, right? You heard that all day. I'm your host, BKP. Don't miss when we get back. I'm going to tell you when we get back why I have this book on my desk. Yes, there were Republicans there yesterday. Yes, John Kasich. But are they Republicans? Why is this book on my desk? I will tell you when I return.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is more than just your average Ace. We have a huge selection of Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next trip. We have a huge selection of lumber for your next building project. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs. Plus, we have everything you'd expect like paint, tools, and equipment. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let's get this out of the way. Last night, that is our phone number. You can always text me at that number 24/7. You can write us an email there on the address. You can follow us on social media. Last night, they did an entire segment trying to find Republicans to highlight that I voted for Trump, it won't happen again. So they're trying to lead you to believe last night that America is packed with regret. Republicans with regret. Okay. We're going to find them. Okay. Then there's the young lady that her dad died, and the only pre-existing condition her dad had was believing in Donald Trump. So they went right for Donald Trump, COVID, and Cuomo's response, and the governor of New York's response last night, his little comments, and the failure of the federal government. You know, Chicago spent what, $66 million on a hospital or something, whatever, a temp hospital that never had over 38 people in it. What about the Javits Center in New York that the United States just picked up immediately, the government, and built overnight, turned the Javits Center into a hospital, no patients? What about the floating boats? We had to have them now. Now, the floating hospitals, right? Red Cross hospitals there on the East Coast and the West Coast, no patients in there. But no, he was shoving the elderly back into senior homes. He was killing the elderly as fast as he could, where he could have quarantined and separated them into the Javits Center or other areas. But that being said, what about the other boat floating out there in California? What about the ventilators? We don't hear that anymore, right? So anyhow, that being said, last night they wanted to trot out the regret. I regret voting for Donald Trump. I voted for Republican my whole entire life, okay? Now, they totally ignore that Trump has the highest favorability ratings with Republicans in modern history of any kind of polling that's being done. Okay? The Republican Party is more behind this candidate. It was false. There was a false wall built with Republican support for Mitt Romney. There was a false wall built for Republican support for John McCain. A false wall, although he won twice, built with support for George W. Bush. This is the strongest support. Now, there's a couple things last night as you're looking at that, because I will never forget, okay? I will never forget the first time I had a negative emotional response to a Democratic convention. And it was the first one where I just really thought, man, this is bad. We're in trouble. We're in deep trouble, okay? Because I've been reading these people for years. And it's actually, remember when Ross Perot ran as the third party independent with George H. and Bill Clinton. It's the first Bill Clinton convention, okay? DNC. And I came away from that thing watching that like, man, we're in big trouble. Now, last night, I've learned a lot. Last night, it was trying to find regret in Trump supporters. There's all the other things out there. I voted Republican my whole life. So they brought in number 4, Christine Todd Whitmer, okay? Now, Christine Todd Whitmer, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do some of this from memory, number 4. And this is an old shoe that they can't just get rid of. And how they brought her up. Now, she is a moderate. She's pro-choice. She never was a conservative at any time. She's a former governor of New Jersey. If memory serves me right, I happened to work on a construction contract in Christine Todd Whitman's house in New Jersey. I never met her. We were there and we were the lowly workers. We were sweaty. It was summer. We were nasty. We were wearing our nail bags and we had hammers and our fingers were dirty because we had nails in there and we had dust in our ears. And she did a walkthrough. I'll never forget. Governor's coming for a walkthrough. Okay. So she came in the afternoon, did a walkthrough, and they told us, all of us, you stay over here. Okay, whatever. Anyhow, so Christine Todd Whitman was never a conservative. She happened to be a Republican governor in the state of New Jersey during the Ronald Reagan administration, which New Jersey was blown up with work. So there you go. She gave her reasons why she likes Joe. Now, there's an old shoe they brought out of the closet, number 5. They were doing the old shoe, okay? So they brought out, this is, you got 5 up there. I can't, there you go. Okay, I got it. Number 5 there. This is the former HP, Hewlett-Packard CEO, Meg Whitman, okay? She's out there in California. Never a conservative, never, okay, at any time whatsoever. A never Trumper. She supported Clinton, okay. All right, now let's go to the number 7. This is New York Congresswoman Susan Molinari. Okay, you can look her up today and take your time, not mine. They brought her out as a never Trumper, okay. And then they wrapped it up. They opened, then they laid that into John Kasich, number 6. John Kasich. All right. And he's at a crossroads in his life. And, you know, he disagrees with Joe on a lot of things. But the one thing he knows, Joe's a man of faith. I'm sitting there listening to this. Really, really a man of faith, a good man. So they regret. They had the Republican regret segment. And they don't want you, and I want to go with this because they don't want you to look at the polling numbers out there that says Donald Trump has the highest Republican support of any Republican president in modern history, just us. So they want you to believe that there's all. Then they had these people on Zoom. They voted for him. I'll never again, never again. It won't happen. I voted for him. I won't do it again. Now, so once they did their Republican regret, yesterday the President of the United States, he went to Minnesota. Now, why would the president go to Minnesota? All right. I'm serious. This is what I want you to look at. Now, this morning on Morning Joe, give me number, and I'm going somewhere with this. This is the one you're going to want to talk to with your friends. So you got the Republican regret last night. Number 51. Now, they're bragging, the Morning Consult there, they're bragging that the general election matchup in Wisconsin is 49-43. Margin of error, 3 points. So it could be a little closer, and Trump could be leading. But they want you to believe that this 6-point spread in Wisconsin is too far to overcome. And why do they only do polling? Why do they always go to Wisconsin? Okay, because number 52, Biden leads Trump in Wisconsin. Okay. Number 52, Biden leads Trump in Wisconsin. And then give me number 50. Number 50, general election matchup, suburban. Biden's up 8, suburbia, USA. Women, Maybe some housewives in there. Women. He's up 10. Biden's up just a full 10. White college degree. Look at the numbers there. White without a college degree. That's where Trump brings them in, the dumbasses. I love the dumbass poll. White dumbass people with no college degree there. I swear to God, I won't get caught off guard if they relate it to the number of teeth one day. But anyhow, they love to talk about Wisconsin, right? Now, the DNC is supposed to be in Wisconsin. They will not campaign. They will not publicly campaign, and you know they can't. Joe Biden hasn't had a press conference. Trump will go into Wisconsin where the Democrats should be, and he has no fear of it. Now, we keep hearing Joe's a hero. They did all the cinematic background visuals of Joe being a hero with a mask and people being a hero with a mask. And Trump swoops in like he came from out of the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Trump. He's coming in now for a landing. And he lands at a podium and talks to people. And then he talks to reporters. He goes out on the White House lawn. He's going for Marine One. And he points. He will talk to him forever. But Minnesota, okay, this is what, let me see if I have it here. Give me 60. This is the Star Tribune in Minnesota. All right, in Minneapolis, is it? Trump swings through Minnesota, paints himself as force of stability and order. He paints himself as force for stability and order. Swung right through Minnesota yesterday. Why? Give me number 61. This is out of a CBS article, all right? CBS article, I think. President Trump continued his attack on Joe Biden as Democrats prepare to kick off the national convention on Monday on campaign stops in Minnesota and Wisconsin yesterday. 2 stops. Joe won't get out of the basement. Mr. Trump railed against mail-in voting and claimed that if Sleepy Joe is elected, the country will descend into a socialist regime. The president summed up his election strategy in theory with one line in Wisconsin: the only way we lose the election is if the election is rigged. Why are they in panic and screaming mail, post office? Why? They did hours last night. The DNC talked about the post office. Why? Because they've been caught. They were going to try to slide in this mail-in ballot, universal mail-in voting, and they got caught, and it's now an outrage. And I'm going to tell you, Americans go to the Google machine. That's what Joe Scarborough says. They go to the Google machine and they type in mail-in ballot fraud, and they find things for themselves. And they know what's going on in Nevada. I don't have to yell for 2 hours about it. You know. They know what happened in New Jersey, Patterson. They know what happened to Carol Maloney up in New York, that the president said should be a whole new election. He's right. The opponent is saying, wait a minute, you can't just throw all these ballots out and not. They know. They are screaming over a post office that you and I. When did you find out? When do you find out that you're in a crisis? When do you find out there's a problem? When do you find out you should be upset? Is when the media tells you. Do you know these post boxes that they have been pulling up? Obama pulled up hundreds of these post boxes, these city boxes. Now, I understand if you're out here in the rural area and your biggest concern is hitting a deer going home. I get it. You're not used to the big old post box, okay? Used to when we were, years ago, and I'll call it New Jersey. I was there. I'll admit to it. Hey, take this letter, drop it in a box. What did that mean? Find a box on the corner, pull it, hey, throw it in the box. But what postal workers were finding, because people don't send snail mail anymore, the next generation, your kids that are getting sent home for college because UNC has 135 outbreaks of or positive tests for COVID. Your kids are not using the mail. They're not. So what they found is a lot of these mailboxes, although it is a federal crime, postal workers were opening these boxes on their route and finding trash. Yes, they were being used for just trash. And you know, there was and they had to sort through trash to see if there was a letter. This is true. These mailboxes are obsolete. Now, if you take one up and you don't need those anymore, you just don't need those boxes because people are not looking for a place to, you know, mail their, I got to get the electric bill in. They're not. That being said, I don't want to get sidetracked. It will be, the president has exposed that. That's why they're screaming. Anyhow, the president subbed that the election is rigged. In an event in Minnesota, the first of two campaign stops, Mr. Trump made an unproven claim. An unproven claim. Doesn't he always, according to the media, that Biden suffers from cognitive decline while touting his administration's response to the coronavirus and efforts to revive the U.S. economy. An unproven claim. Now, let's stay with Minnesota. They're in panic mode. I'm going to give you two big things. I told you they are in panic mode. Now, let's go to Nate Silver's 538. Give me number 62. I always get like this when I get all worked up. Here, get. Okay, so number 62. Who's ahead in Minnesota? You see, we're not talking about North Carolina. We're not talking about Georgia. You see, if you go to, hold on, I'm going to do something here, Emily. I'm going to do something here. And I'm going to send this to you right now. It's going to have a number on there. Hang on, this is worth it, okay? Let me get this to Emily because this is something that's going to help prove my case that I'm making. All right, so Emily, I just sent you this picture. It's number 74. I don't know if you already have the 74. We call it the new one. So let's look at this right here on the screen in Minnesota. This is not North Carolina. This is not Virginia, which I think will come in strong for Trump. This is Minnesota. Number 18. Let's see where it was at. Stay on the one you got there. So Nate Silver says on August 17th, the leader is Joe Biden by only 5.6. There's a margin of error, 45 to 50.6. 5 point. That's it in Minnesota. But what are you seeing in the center of the screen? If you took that cursor and went back to March, April, and May, Joe has a high double-digit lead. What happened in Minnesota that shrunk that lead? Minneapolis? Huh? Maybe Trump has opened up timber up there. Maybe industry is coming back in Minnesota. So the inner cities are collapsing around Democrats and they don't know what to do. So look at there. I want you to take note, 5.6, and I want you to take note that in the center there, and it's only about 3 months ago, not even 90 days, 70 days ago, Biden's over double digits, like 11, okay? Now, let's look at something more recent. We're going to talk about why they won't talk about Minnesota. Why is Minnesota never leaning? We'll see in a minute, okay? Number 63. Look at that, 63. Why on 8/11, today's the 18th, let's see, 7 plus 11 will be, so just 7 days ago, well after Minneapolis, well after defund the coppers, well after George Floyd, well after the I will burn your building down and demolish your small business, long after that, right? Here it is on 8/11, the Emerson College poll. Minute, that can't be right. Are my eyes deceiving me? Does that have Biden at 50 and Trump at 47? A 3% margin with a 3.6% margin of error in the sample? Is that a 50-47? Public policy on 7/31, going back to the end of July, it was 52-42 with them. Morning Consult was 47-44, a 9-point spread, and that goes back to July 27th. Why is that collapse for Biden to 50-47, a 3-point spread with the Emerson College poll on 8/11 this month? This is the most recent poll. 3%, right? 3%. I showed you Nate Silvers, right? Now, before I get into the last part of this, give me that, because I'm talking this election, folks. I'm not getting into the drama. I'm actually showing you, I told you yesterday, we are in a very good place, but we're not in a place where we could just, take it for granted. We've won. We have not won anything. They intend to steal the election. They intend to cheat, steal, lie, whatever they have to do. Hook or by crook, as they say. But we have to, folks, work. But we're in a good place. So let's go to, damn, I don't have my glasses. Let's go to number 74 that I just sent you over. Now remember, this is the most recent CBS YouGov, okay? This is the most. Minnesota is leaning Democrat. Leaning Democrat. Now, at the same time, they're going to call it leaning Democrat. They're going to yell that a 3-point poll with Trump up 3 in Georgia makes it a toss-up. They're going to come up with why. I showed you a poll last week where Trump's up in North Carolina, but they call it a toss-up, okay? Texas is leaning Democrat. Minnesota is leaning Democrat. And I'm showing you where actually polling data in Minnesota works out better than the other ones. Then even, they have Georgia in a toss-up, Florida in a toss-up. This is why they stay clear away from it. This is why they didn't talk about it this morning. They're not talking about President Trump going to Minnesota at all. Now, I sent you a video this morning, and I'm going to have to go back and find it. It is, wait a minute. Video. It is called the Trump gave a man whose bar was burned down by rioters a big surprise. You have that one? Okay. It's Trump. If you have that one, will you play that for me?
With his wife, Tawana, they have 4 children. He devoted his life savings to building a sports bar and fought so hard to get it built. He was so proud of it. It was up. It was successful. He was so proud. On May 27th, that dream was viciously demolished by rioters and vandals. KB and Tawana, please come up and say a few words, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
My name is KB Bala. I'm a firefighter, also a businessman. This is my wife, Tawana Bala. We have 4 kids out here in Minnesota. I immigrated from West Africa, Liberia. Been here for over 25 years. Always dream about opening my own bar and restaurant. That's something that I have dreamed about. So my wife and I worked so hard, saved up to have our dream come true. So it was a blessing that we could finally, get to see that, But due to the rioting that happened in the city, our bar was burned down, and we had to start over, But there's a silver lining through the whole story that the world came together. Everybody, there was a lot of support, there was a lot of prayer, there was a lot of donation. Now we're in a better position to rebuild, So we were just grateful and blessed for the opportunity to start over.
So, will you be rebuilding? Will you be rebuilding?
Yes.
And you have the financing to rebuild and everything?
Working on it.
Are you close?
Close, but not close enough.
How much will it be? How much are you going to need?
We're looking at a new building right now to purchase. And it's on the market right now for $1.3 million. So that's kind of where we are right now negotiating.
Because you had a real success, right? You built a real success ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we can help you out a little bit with government too. We'll try. All right. We'll see what we can do. Okay.
Thank you.
That's great. What a beautiful couple. Thank you. Thank you both very much. Let's give it a shot.
Okay, let me recap this. Democrats are in panic. It's a disaster over there. They won't campaign. They can't campaign. The local candidates around you cannot campaign because Joe Biden won't come out of the basement. And if they do, they prove that there's maybe a flaw in their science. But let me recap this. Married, husband and wife. That screws up everything, right? It's not a baby, it's not a woman anyhow. Married. That's check number 1. Oh God, they found a married couple, black married couple. Successful business owner. Said work hard. Could you get the American dream if you work? Let me keep checking this off. 4 kids. So not only husband and wife worked hard, saved their money. Their dream was to have a sports bar, restaurant bar, family, 4 kids, and the rioting destroyed their dream, their American dream. Are you rebuilding? Well, we're trying to. We're trying to get the finance. How much? $1.3 million. Trump said, let me see what I can't do about that. Minnesota's in play. Minnesota is in play. Let that soak in. They're all in play, baby. Let that soak in, okay? Now, that is one of my favorite videos. So, I don't want to talk about it, but let me remind you of something, and we'll close this segment because I want to get to also why it's all in play, baby. And I'm going to tell you something. Let me look at this. Give me number. And I'm going to tell you about the book. That's going to be a segment in itself in a minute. So here is give me number 64. Number 64 is the 2016 Minnesota presidential election results. Would this be the home? Just go down through when you get time and look at the liberals in Minnesota and think, could this go red? If you will look there at the vote count between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, there's only 43,785 votes that separated the two, with a 2.7 million votes cast between the two of them. So between the two candidates, Hillary Rodham Clinton and Donald Trump, There were 2.7 million votes cast in Minnesota, and only 43,785 separated them. Now, I will tell you this. I remember after the election, Trump said, if we'd have pushed just a little bit more in Minnesota, we could have brought that in. It was there. It was almost there. That's where they're at today. So I think we will win Minnesota. If you tuned in this morning to hear about the show last night, they tried to find the Republican regret, okay, to go against the polling that says Republicans are backing this president like never before, the enthusiasm. They don't want you to believe the boat parades. They don't want you to believe the signs. They don't want you to believe the barns across America that have Trump painted on. They don't want you to believe the flags hanging out front of the house or on your car that say Trump. They don't want you to believe any of that. They found you Republican regret. Now you need to realize, take that Trump flag down. It's over. But it's not true. They go for Wisconsin and say Biden's up 6.9. What? Margin of error. But they stay away from Minnesota. I will stay away from that. But when we come back, I'm going to show you the best. Yes, best is big. There's good, there's okay, then there's the best campaign video out there that has to go viral. I mean viral, because it proves the second thing I have been saying for weeks. Take a break. We'll be back. I'll explain the book.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, one nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
If you want big Chevy discounts, Days Chevrolet in Jasper gets it done with savings of $8,000 on new Chevy Equinox or up to $10,000 savings off new Silverado crew cabs. We're big on discounts and even bigger on customer service. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Find new roads.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is more than just your average Ace. We have a huge selection of Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next trip. We have a huge selection of lumber for your next building project. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs. Plus, we have everything you'd expect like paint, tools, and equipment. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. It's August 18th. It's somebody's birthday out there. I don't know why. I think August. 9700 is the number. You can text me 24/7 on that. Social media, email me. Now I'm going to get to the book in a minute because it's very important to what I want to say. I like to break down politics here. I do get into a lot of stories. I've got to get into the Kelly Loeffler. I just wish Brian Kemp, Governor Brian Kemp, would just totally, not that he appointed her. I have all the flaws I call it appointing Kelly Loeffler as the senator here in Georgia. I just wish he would have got out of the way. He would have just, here you go. It's going to be my senator, your senator, it's who I'm picking, and got out of the way. I just wish he was not going across, Governor Brian Kemp, the state of Georgia, trying to divide the Republican Party. It's not what we need right now. And it is the governor of Georgia that is dividing the Republican Party in the state. Now, that being said, all right, I just laid out Minnesota, okay? There, I've told you, and you're wondering, prove it. Democrats are in panic. Last night, they blackmailed, can we say that? The American people. Yes, if you vote our way, we will call off the dogs. If you want to go back to what you call normal, you don't want your business looted, your cops beat in the street, people bloody in their face, beat by Black Lives Matter, rioting, protesters, Antifa, rocks, bottles. If you want this to stop, vote for us. We are the ones that can stop this. A blackmail. It was really scary. We, the people, it was really scary last night in so many ways. But I had Sheriff Stacy Nicholson on in Gilmer County yesterday, and I asked him, and although he is in Gilmer County, he's connected in law enforcement for years, okay? And he's been to many conventions across the country, and he's very involved in the Georgia Sheriff's Association in the state. I asked him if inner city police officers, law enforcement, if he felt, being in law enforcement, that this changes the game. You remember Seattle, I have said this, I think her name was Chief Best, a black, okay, first black female chief of police in Seattle quit. They defunded her, okay, quit. All right. Law enforcement, and that's why last night they had to find the police chief of Houston to try to make it look like there's some law enforcement behind the DNC. Okay? Black America knows who's killing them. Black America knows who put them in the projects. Black America knows why little girls and little boys cannot play in the street, hopscotch, whatever they do in the city streets in the hot summertime to have fun due to the fact of not police brutality, due to the fact, okay, that a stray bullet from gangs and drug dealers would kill their children. Black America knows that this is a scary time and who put them there. So give me number, hold on here. This is one badass girl. Give me number, let's just go to the video and then we'll talk about it, okay? I have said this over and over, and finally, the video that you need to be sending in mass emails, and it needs to be played over and over. Let's go to Kim Clack Twitter video, the one I have up, the Kim Clack, is that her name? Yeah, Clack, yeah, Twitter video, you have that? Play it.
Do you care about Black lives? The people that run Baltimore don't. I can prove it. Walk with me. They don't want you to see this. I'm Kim Klacik. This is Baltimore, the real Baltimore. This is the reality for Black people every single day. crumbling infrastructure, abandoned homes, poverty, and crime. Baltimore has been run by the Democrat Party for 53 years. What is the result of their decades of leadership? Baltimore is one of the top 5 most dangerous cities in America. The murder rate in Baltimore is 10 times the U.S. average. The Baltimore poverty rate is over 20%. Homicide, drug, and alcohol deaths are skyrocketing in our city. Do you believe Black Lives Matter? I do. The vast majority of crime in Baltimore is perpetrated against Black people, who make up 60% of the population. So why don't we care about our communities? The Democrat Party have betrayed the Black people of Baltimore. If the politicians walked the streets like I do, they would see exactly how their policies and corruption affects us. If they don't want to see it, they don't want you to see this. Go to any Baltimore neighborhood and ask this question. Do you want to defund the police?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. I had 3 sons killed in Baltimore City. And I think if we defund the police office, it's going to be worse than that. So no, I'm opposed to that.
What are you going to defund the police for? Why? How do you defend your city, your community? Families are losing people.
It's not just Baltimore. The worst place for a Black person to live in America is a Democrat-controlled city. It's 2020. Name a blue city where Black people's lives have gotten better. Try. I'll wait. Look at this. How are children supposed to live here and play here? Democrats think Black people are stupid. They think they can control us forever, that we won't demand better, and that we'll keep voting for them forever, despite what they've done to our families and our communities. Are they right? I'm Kim Klacik, and I'm running for Congress because I actually care about Black lives. All Black lives matter. Our communities matter. Baltimore matters. And Black people don't have to vote Democrat.
One of the many, but right now to me, one of the most powerful videos in America. The Democrats are panicked. Last night was Please Come Home, Please. Guess who's coming to dinner? It was a Black night event. They started with George Floyd. Kim Klacik, sorry, that is one badass girl. Right there, Kim Klacik. Give me number 67, all right? Now, she is running in Baltimore. This is where, you remember Freddie Gray took the bumpy ride in the paddy wagon and he died. All these honorable citizens. But let me tell you, deep in the poverty areas, deep in these poverty areas, okay, of these inner cities. Did you see the way she said, hey, let's look at the upside for Black Americans in these deep blue run cities? And the marks all the way across, the little tags all the way, pins all the way across the Democrat. That is powerful. Let's look at the Black lives mattering in those cities. Very powerful. Now, Kim Klacik, she's running as a Republican, and she is running for the late Congressman Elijah Cummings. Now, you remember how Trump said Elijah Cummings did nothing in Baltimore. Who exposed Baltimore? Who exposed Elijah Cummings? Who started the exposure? Who started this exposure? Donald J. Trump. There have been Black activists and are now, and I'm not talking about Al Sharpton, that piece of garbage. I'm talking about there has been actually real Black activists in these inner cities that have been trying to get their voice over Governor Lightfoot, over these these Democrat mayor and city. They've been trying to get it out, and they have not been successful. And Black America knows who called attention to it. Black America knows who finally got them recognized. Who finally said this is a disaster? Trump, they went nuts. Oh my God. Oh my God. Elijah Cummings. How could you talk to him that way? But Trump called Cummings out. Him and his wife. He laid them wide open. They showed the trash of downtown Baltimore, right? It was an outrage, but Trump brought it out. And are the black people in inner city Baltimore, I say black, she says it. Okay, quit yelling at me. Are they concerned that Trump brought this out? No. This lady's running as a Republican, bold, right there in Baltimore. Let's see, Maryland could lean red. Even though Larry Hogan there, of Hogan's heroes, he's Hogan's heroes. He's a never Trumper, Larry Hogan, the governor of Maryland. He's a never Trumper. He's Hogan's heroes of all these people across the country that are never Trumpers. Anyhow, powerful, powerful, powerful. Could the inner cities in this country flip? Not totally, but could they? Right? So I want to cut this right here because this is the last thing I want to do on this. And Emily, I want to do a new segment. So I'll count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. So if you're ready there, I want a new recording. Now I want to name this recording, I think here. I want to put this out. How, now listen to me, because can things change? How can a very, very Democrat region in your country, whether it be a city, a state, a congressional district, whatever it may be, how can it change from one party to another? And how can it go from Democrat? How can you go from Democrat to the third most Republican congressional district in the United States? So I just want to give you the hope out there. Now you do your own research, but you look at the state of West Virginia with Robert Byrd, okay? And I will say briefly, Robert Byrd with Jay Rockefeller, a billionaire that swooped in there and became a Democrat governor. Okay. West Virginia with Robert Byrd, you would go through West Virginia and you would say, how can you be a Democrat? And how can you support a KKK? I'm going to say this directly. How can you support a KKK member, Robert Byrd, and be a Democrat? How can you do this? And you would hear people, now this is 30 years ago, 35 years ago, we'll go back. You would hear people say, Robert Byrd got me my black lung. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's coal mines, black lung. And you would go fill out your paperwork. And there were stories in West Virginia. Don't take this wrong. I love my coal miner friends. I love my friends from West Virginia. Trust me, this is not an anti-West Virginia. But there were stories in West Virginia 35 years ago where people might worked in the mines 2 weeks. Yes. Now there was legitimate men that worked in these coal mines that their lungs were caked with coal dust and they couldn't breathe. It was called black lung. All right. But there was so much fraud in this as it went from always something being a legitimate thing, okay, to just total fraud for the most part. So you would hear people say, well, Robert Byrd got me my black lung. All right. Now, I'm not going to get stuck there. But West Virginia used to be, the joke was you could run a Democrat, a dead Democrat in the cemetery, and he would win against a Republican. total Democrat state. I mean, very, very blue. Maybe not even 15 years ago, the bluest state in the United States. Seriously, over New York. I'm serious. It comes in red. Now, what's the big deal? It comes in red faster than any state. I think they compete with Kentucky or something to be the first to turn red. But anyhow, on election night, it turns red faster than any state in the union, and it's a Republican state. So here's the hope. Can things change? Can things get exposed? I never thought I would see West Virginia go red and go Republican. Now, second, the 9th Congressional District of Georgia. And I'm going to get off this because I got a lot more to do today. The 9th Congressional District of Georgia. Now, this book is opened because it is, I have his signature there. It's a signed book, okay? And last night they tried to find the Republican regret, and everybody's making a big deal that John Kasich spoke at the Republican convention. But what I want you to look for, and it will be time that tells, and I can tell you this morning, nothing will happen, is what will the outcome be? Okay, what will the results be? This is going to be big. You won't hear this anywhere else today. I guarantee you will hear this analogy nowhere else today. Not even Rush Limbaugh, as much as I love the Rushman, okay? Or the great one, Mark Levin. What will the outcome be of John Kasich speaking last night that they're all gushing? Nothing. No results, okay? Now, this is a book called A National Party No More, The Conscience of a Conservative Democrat. Okay, no such thing as a conservative Democrat. All right? There was a time there was a conservative Democrat. Yeah, believe it or not, there was a time. Then it got pushed down to a moderate Democrat. There's no such thing, folks, as a moderate Democrat. Kamala Harris is not a moderate Democrat. There's no such thing as a conservative Democrat. Period. They're all liberal, left-leaning, steal your money, socialist, communist to me. Okay, getting it past that. National Party No More, The Conscience of a Conservative Democrat, Zell Miller. Senator Zell Miller. So, this guy right here, a Democrat, spoke at the Republican convention, remember? He spoke on the stage at the Republican convention, and he talked about the party leaving him, all right? And this Georgia boy from Young Harris, he spoke at the Republican convention in New York City for George W. Bush, all right? And it was a big deal. I think, if memory serves me right, in modern time, TV time, he's the first to go over to a major party and give a major speech on the stage at a convention. Zell Miller from Young Harris, Georgia. Now, where I'm going with this, okay? Can the inner cities, will they flip and become Republican city councils? I don't think so. I don't see that in the near future. Will the mayors of these cities flip? Will the mayor now be I don't see it in the near future, but I'm not counting it out. But will the vote in the area flip? Will it change? Will it demand more out of their politicians and their elected officials? Yes, I believe that, and that's the fear that the Democrats have today. The 9th Congressional District of Georgia is the third most Republican district in the United States. There's one in Texas and one in Kentucky, and I should take the time to look it up. I can't remember who is 1 and who is 2. But the Georgia 9th, again, is the third most conservative in the United States. But it hasn't been long ago. When I say long ago, I think 1995. I'm looking at the camera, no monitors. I have nothing on the screen. I'm guessing. And there's two people And this is not going down the road whether I like people or not, but there's two people that are responsible, largely responsible, for the 9th Congressional District doing two things. Going blue to red, going from blue to red, because the 9th Congressional District of Georgia used to be a Democrat district. It did. The congressman was Democrat. The governor was elected right down there, the governor of Georgia, a Democrat from Young Harris. Our congressman was over here in Gainesville. His name was Nathan Deal, Democrat. The 9th Congressional District, and it was the old 9th, not the new 9th, but still yet the 9th Congressional District is Democrat. Now, that being said, that where the 9th District lies today, Democrat. Nathan Deal, I think, switched parties in 95. Look it up. I might have the number. He switched parties in 95 to Republican. Now, although Zell Miller did not switch parties, okay, he did tell his old Democrat friends it was okay. Because if you know Towns County, if you know Union County and that area up there, hard Democrat areas. He did kindly give the olive branch when he made the speech and said, go ahead and vote Republican if you want. I won't hurt my feelings. Today, the 9th Congressional District is the 3rd most Republican district in the United States. Democrats are in full panic mode. The gig is up. It's over. They are stressed out because Black America has found their voice. And you out there are listening. And you're going to help them any way you can to turn this around. That's like me. Anything I could do from any of my Black friends or anything I could do to help get their voice out in America, and we can get their help. It's like the president looked at that family yesterday. 1.3 million. Let's see what we can do to help. Can things change? Can things turn around? Yes. Are the Democrats in panic and in fear? Yes. I got to take a break. We're going to come back. I've only got 30 minutes, but I've got a lot on my plate, and we're going to bring it to you. We're serving it up right after this.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is more than just your average Ace. We have a huge selection of Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next trip. We have a huge selection of lumber for your next building project. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs. Plus, we have everything you'd expect, like paint, tools, and equipment.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're going to run through some pictures. Number 59. Okay, we gotta rush through this. We have 20 minutes. Thank you, Emily, for putting everything up, and just an outstanding job today. Number 59. Night one of the Democrat National Convention. Speeches given by Michelle Obama Sanders. Now, this is a profile pic. We understand she recorded this a week ago. Please do not send me messages today calling Michelle Obama Michael. Don't send me those messages today. I get it. Okay, so here she is last night. They're gushing over her. I mean, just gushing. Here it is, number 58. Night one of the Democrat National Convention kicks off. There's the three. Okay, now Fox was gushing last night. They didn't know what to do. All right, now I'm not taking up. I do not dislike, and I don't say ugly things, but I'm not, people have asked me, I'm not a Dana Perino, number 7, okay? I'm not a Dana Perino fan. I don't, it's not like I'll turn the TV off like some, but they were last night trying to recap this convention, not knowing what to do with it, knowing it was a TV disaster, a total TV disaster. Number 57, being president doesn't change who you are, it reveals who you are. So the real Donald Trump, would you please stand up? What's my line, right? So they're gushing over there and she said she not only made the jump or whatever, she stuck the landing, okay? So they're gushing over there at Fox last night with, as Rush would call her, Moochel. Number 56, Michelle Obama headlines night one of DNC. Here's the group at MSNBC. Number 55, Michelle Obama, vote for Biden like our lives depend on it. Boom, boom, boom. Our lives depend on it. Blackmail last night. If you vote for Biden, we can stop this. I said this, and I don't know where it's at because, like I said, we're not a big network, so I can't have everything timestamped. But I said this weeks ago. All right? Could they run a campaign of fear that you will say, look, on November 4th, if Biden is president and I can go outside and I can go to a concert and I can go to a baseball game again and I don't have to be in fear because I'm white of having my ass beat. If you will call off the dogs, no, I get in trouble for that, right? But if you'll call them off and I can go out and not get my ass beat as a white person because I'm in the city, and I can go to a play again, all the above. Okay. That was the blackmail last night. Now, there's two, when I say predictions, I'm going to say this because my hopes are the country, I'm hopes, what could happen? Could Joe Biden, I was watching last night, is this a setup? Could Joe Biden come out and hold his hands up, the Moses moment at the Red Sea in the Ten Commandments, right? Could Joe Biden, he's probably as old as Moses or Methuselah, could he hold his hands up like parting the Red Sea and say, stop it now, and America calm down? Riots over, everything calm. And everybody say, wow, what a unifier. Could he do that? Are we going to kill, murder, burn everything down to a point Joe says stop, and people are mesmerized with his unifying power? Well, you and I will know it's all a setup, so what's the big... No, you and I will know that. What about the masses? And the second thing, watch for that. And the second thing I want to look at is before Election Day. Election Day will still make the call. November 3rd will be the call. I understand the ballots. I didn't get into the post office like you want, but Election Day, could the stock market crash? Now, what would lead you to believe that? I'm watching some business news. Okay. Could the stock market crash and really hurt 401ks? Two things. Stock market crash. I said this and I have video of this. They've already orchestrated an orchestrated economic collapse. That happened. The only thing that could stop them with Trump was collapse the economy. They've done that. Okay. Could Joe part the Red Sea and calm the world and people be in awe just in time for Election Day? And will the stock market crash? Just saying. Okay, so Michelle, that last night was blackmail. Number 54, Michelle Obama headlines the DNC. We already used that. Here's number 53, the commie Chris Wallace swooning. They have it on MSNBC over Chris Wallace there. Number 53. There you go. Thank you. And number 52, the Morning Consult poll, Trump is behind 6 points or 6% there in Wisconsin. They love to show those numbers, okay? We showed you that this morning. Here's another one, 49. Trump went to Wisconsin, but he's behind. He should have never come. Hey, number 48, the McCluskeys, right? Is that McCluskeys, right? I hope they strike this pose. They are speaking, okay? Him and his wife, what is his name? I know, anyhow. They are speaking at the Republican National Convention. Yes, I love it. All right. Number 47, U.S. Postal Service warns numerous states that mail-in ballots may not be delivered too late. Yeah. Hey, all right, so if it's November 3rd is election day, and I send my ballot November 2nd at 3 o'clock, it could get here too late. My ballot will be too. Yes. It's ridiculous what's going on. They are in fear. This is their only hope. And Trump exposed their mail-in. Watch what happens. They think they're going to bring this guy down. All right, DeJoy, number 46. Number 46, DeJoy agrees to testify. Round him up. Hey, Clancy, bring him in. DeJoy, I want him in front of me right here. Oh, watch what happens. Watch what happens. Why, we know the mailbox has been jerked out of the ground for years through Obama. We know that. We know the post office. Americans know that it's billions of dollars in debt. We have to bail it out every time we turn around. We know that. Donald Trump exposed this years ago. This is not new just because of elections. He asked years ago, why are you giving Amazon such great deals? That's 3 years old. Look it up. Let's see if I got another one here. CNN in on the game, 44. CNN, TNN, Dem conventions. First night runs ideological gamut. Look at that, man. 43 Dem conventions first night. There you go. What's her name? Eva Longoria. I don't know. Is that her name? Eva Longoria? I don't know. Here it is, number 42. This is the guy here, number 42. Democrats tear into Trump, CNN said. Here is the young lady there next to the cat lady with the cat sweatshirt. Her dad died of COVID-19, with COVID-19. Don't know all the details. It was a Trump supporter, and the only pre-existing condition he had was believing Donald Trump. She'll vote Democrat now. She happens to be in Arizona. They did their state choices real well. Number 41, Democrat tear into Trump. There she is. Number 40, terrifying. Former senior administration official endorses Biden. You heard about this one? I didn't have time to get into this one. Number 39, Washington Post, Homeland Security. I saw firsthand how dangerous Trump is for America. Another Trumper in the administration in the first couple of years. Here he is, Washington Post, number 38. After serving for more than 2 years in the Department of Homeland Security's leadership during the Trump administration, I can attest that the country is less secure as a direct result of the president's actions. Now, this young man, okay, here he is, number 37. What's the guy's name? Kushner said, oh, he's a good kid. Mike was a nice kid. Kushner just smacked. Mike was a nice kid. He was in Homeland Security in the 2 years that we built no wall. He's a never Trumper. We flushed him out. He's gone. All right. Here he is, number 36, New York Times. Former Trump Homeland Security backs Biden, says working for the president was terrifying. I'm terrified. How are you today? Could you see the morning greeting? How are you today? You always get the bubbly one in the office. How are you? I'm terrified. You're terrified. Yes, I'm absolutely terrified. Are you not? No, I love it. It's a beautiful day. There's one in every office. I'm sorry. Don't jump at me. Okay, here he is. Another one. They loved it this morning. Number 35, former senior Trump administrative official endorses Joe Biden. Here's the one. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorites. It is because Trump will say anything. You don't give a damn, okay? Trump does not give a damn. President Trump renews his appeal towards suburban housewives. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love it. Suburban housewives. He was in Oshkosh. And there he doubles down with a tweet, number 33, the suburban housewives will be voting for me. They want safety, and they are thrilled that I ended the long-running program where low-income housing would invade their neighborhood. Biden would reinstall it, and in a bigger form with Cory Booker in charge. With Cory Booker in charge. I'm sorry. I crack myself up some days. Old Shula. Let's just do this one again for the shell of it, okay? Number 31. Sanders unleashes scathing attack. I said this earlier, he's like an old Jew that was yelling at kids, get off of my lawn. Don't be riding your bikes across my grass. Or I'll take your health care. You want health care? Yeah. Okay. Want a little extra in your lunchbox, baby? Yeah. Keep your bikes off my grass. Oh my God. It's the only way. It's the only way. It is. Okay. Number 30. This is, I don't have time to do the Pennsylvania will cheat story. Let me see what else I want. Number 28, NPR in on it. Michelle Obama rips Trump as clearly in over his head. Okay. Number 27, Trump denies encouraging Postmaster General to slow the mail down. Hey, Larry, slow down. Why? The president just called, Larry. He said to slow down. He's encouraging us. We don't really have to, but we're being encouraged to slow down. So let's slow this thing down. Well, if the press called, we're going to slow it down. Hey, here's a little one for a union soundbite. You know, when they refurbished the Atlantic City Boardwalk back in the 80s, okay, they completely redone the Atlantic City Boardwalk. They started replacing the planking on the boardwalk with air nail guns, okay? The union stepped in. The Carpenters Union in the state of New Jersey stepped in and stopped them from using air guns. Had to go back to the hammer and nail. It was going too fast. True. Look it up. You never know with me. Stop using air guns. It was going too fast. Anyhow, Jay's encouraged. Are you been? All right, folks, let's have a meeting. The president is encouraging us to slow it down. Slow it down. Don't lose any of your mail bags. Number 26. Have you encouraged the Postmaster General, a big donor, to slow down the mail? Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And I did it publicly. And I didn't fall for any of your BS during the whole, you people tried to set me up. Have you seen how the president, how many times they attempted to set him up to take the bait as candidate Donald Trump, and he never took the bait? And we're talking FBI, we're talking some of the most corrupt, smoothest criminals, no pun intended there, Michael Jackson, there is. And Trump never took the bait. They could never nail him down. Mueller couldn't do it. Could find no crime. But he is going to take the bait, hook, line, and sinker, and tell the post office to slow down. Number 25, U.S. Postal Office crisis. It's a crisis. We never know a crisis. I get up in the morning. I look out the window, sun's shining. My dog's tail is wagging. He wants his food. She wants the food. They want to go outside. Sun's shining. Microwave's working. Get a cup of coffee. And everything, I'm happy as can be. And then I turn on the TV and I was like, oh my God, I'm in a crisis. I was looking forward to it today. I thought I'm just saying. Here it is. Number 25. Mr. President, you mentioned the Postal Service. We've seen some cutbacks. Is now the right time to be doing that? And is it going to be prepared for November? All right. Would you think about doing any sort of action on your own? Well, I didn't speak to the Postmaster General in the post office. I know this. He's a very good businessman. You know, let me tell you something. The people asking these questions do not look at the books in their corporation. There you go. They don't. The people asking these questions do not look at the books in their corporation. On Friday, they get a direct deposit. Now, here's the funny, we rely on it. Seniors are relying on the mail to get their prescriptions. And we're relying on the mail to get your pension checks and your Social Security checks. And we're relying on the mail to get a Christmas card. Grandma, last night at the convention, You know, you may make fun of the post office, but there's a lot of grandmas out there that just like to get their birthday cards from their grandchildren and read them. It means a lot to them. And AOC wants you to pick up a pen pal. Well, we can help out the post office. Let's go back to the whole pen pal thing. Oh, yeah, that's what we want to do. I'll text you that. What are you doing for the next 3 hours? I got a pen pal. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I got to back up. This is nuts. They're nuts. They are crazy as hell. They are crazy. Anyhow, so AOC wants you to have a pen pal. The post office is in crisis mode. Total crisis. Okay. If we don't have the post office, number 24, this is it, right? Collapse the economy, shut down the schools, create another crisis. UNC Chapel Hill moves all classes online after more than 130 students test positive for COVID. No. These universities, there's nothing liberal about them. When they ask, let me ask you this. I wish they would, right? Number 25, when they're out there asking if the president of the United States, okay, spoke to the Postmaster General about slowing the mail down and helping slow down the mail so your ballot does not get there. I wish they would look at it, number 24, the same way. I wonder if they would ask, go to one of these press conferences and say to the dean of UNC there, Chapel Hill, and say, did anybody with the Democrat National Convention or anybody like that, or your governor that's a Democrat, did they call and encourage you to go back to virtual learning? Who encouraged you to create this crisis or report this crisis? Now, here it is, number 23, 5 minutes here. Trump cast doubt on election with United States Post Office conspiracy theories. Oh my God. Here he is, number 22. You got to always bring in the postmaster, the United States American Postal Workers Union, that have endorsed Joe Biden. Got to do that. Let's see. Oh, they're partying in Wuhan. Number 20. Number 20. They are partying. I mean, they're partying like it's 1999. They are partying. They are throwing their post-coronavirus shindig. I mean, the crowd, they are partying over there in Wuhan. Crackdown to reopen schools, number 18. Number 18, they're going to be a crackdown to reopen schools. Number 15, let me get into this. 15, tonight's convention speakers, we have Joe Biden, former President Bill Clinton, John Kerry, voter suppression, Stacey Abrams, AOC, the next Speaker of the House, right behind Nancy Pelosi, if the Republicans don't get their ass in gear. I'm not joking. Laugh at me. Chuck Hughes Schumer and Sally Yates. Wonder what Sally Yates will say. She was terrified those first couple months. I will break down tomorrow like I did last night. The fear, we will stop this, the blackmail, and trying to find Republican regret tomorrow. If you enjoyed today, maybe you didn't. You don't have to watch it. I will. Okay. Let me make sure. Number 10. Let's go with 10. Schools struggle with in-person classes. Okay. Here is Joe, mesmerized. He had an inner city, number 8, town hall, right there. He's a decrepit old man. Sorry, he's 77. And first he was amazed at the big screens. Look at the colors. Look at the big screens. You mean you could put all of them in here? How does this work? Wait, let me make sure there's nothing I'm missing. Now, this one here, I got to do this. This is number 3, okay? And number 3, we're going to go to like 10:03, Emily, just 10:03. We're going to, because I want to run a couple videos. I promise, Emily, we'll only go to like 10:03. All right, that's not what I wanted. What the hell happened? Let me see if I can get this to come up. Well, I'll be damned. Is that what I should say? All right, I'm going to bypass this. This is This is, we'll do more on this story. This is Bill Stevenson, supposedly number 3 there. Bill Stevenson, married to now Jill Biden, that they had an affair. Jill had a Corvette. Joe was driving the Corvette. They had a fender bender. The guy that was going to fix the fender bender, they got a price from, said to Steve one night, said, they came in for a quote. What do you mean they came in for a quote? Who's they? What was Joe doing driving? Get out of the house. Leave the house. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. All right, so Jill Biden, that's number 3. And Michelle Obama, let's play that one. Let's play that video. This is just a little disgusting clip. I didn't want to do any Michelle, but it's a Daily Caller Twitter video. Do that one really quick, okay?
That greed is good and winning is everything, because as long as you come out on top, it doesn't matter what happens to everyone else. And they see what happens when that lack of empathy is ginned up into outright disdain. They see our leaders labeling fellow citizens enemies of the state while emboldening torch-bearing white supremacists. They watch in horror as children are torn from their families and thrown into cages, and pepper spray and rubber bullets are used on peaceful protesters for a photo op. Sadly, this is the America that is on display for the next generation. A nation that's underperforming not simply on matters of policy, but on matters of character. And that's not just disappointing, it's downright infuriating. Because I know the goodness and the grace that is out there.
They didn't show any video last night of burning down buildings, rioting, trying to storm a federal courthouse. Nothing. I told you yesterday, before the convention last night, that the photo op, rubber bullets clearing peaceful protesters for a photo op, I told you that would make it in last night. And greed winning, lack of empathy, torch-bearing white supremacists in a photo op. She kindly missed the black business owners, the man and wife, married, 4 kids, Minnesota, work hard, and rioters burnt their business down. So while she is saying that, the president is talking to black Americans that have a dream, that their dream was squashed by rioting, that the Democrats say, we will turn that spigot off if you vote for us. Now, a hot mic, you got to go with this one, all right? A hot mic, Gretchen Whitmer's not ready to go live, and it's picked up. So let's go with the recount hot mic, Gretchen Whitmer, the last one I think I have here, Twitter video, because it's 10.
It's not just Shark Week. It's Shark Week. I have learned about the hot mic.
It's not just Shark Week. Think about that. It's not just Shark Week at the DNC. It's Shark Week MFR. Just thought I'd leave you with that. Let's go to break, and we'll call it a break, but we'll come back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Great job in the studio. Loved having you here. Text me, call me, email me tomorrow, 8 a.m.